It is 40,000 years ago. Your hunting group is stalking a deer when one hunter notices something worse, a cave lion. He cannot shout without turning the valley into a dinner bell, so he raises one finger and points. Everyone looks, everyone moves, nobody becomes cat food. Now remove that gesture. No pointing at predators, water, or the suspicious berries your cousin insists are probably fine. You still have voices and arms, but no fast way to make several minds focus on the same thing. So what if ancient humans never learned to point? Pointing looks simple, because babies do it before they can form sentences. But that simplicity is the trick. A finger turns private discovery into shared information. Look there. Take that. Do not step on this. 3 messages. 1 movement. Archaeologists cannot tell us when the first human pointed, because gestures do not fossilize. Sadly, there is no Stone Age finger in a museum labeled, "First known use of over there." Researchers show that pointing helps create joint attention, 2 people focusing on the same object together. Without pointing, hunting becomes slower and messier. Imagine directing 3 hunters toward one animal using only eye movements. One watches the deer, one watches a tree. The third assumes everyone is admiring the sunset. Excellent teamwork. Ancient groups would invent substitutes. They might whistle, tap shoulders, throw pebbles, or create special sounds. But each method has a cost. A whistle reveals your position. Touch only works nearby. Throwing a rock toward danger may communicate the message, but it may also annoy the danger. The bigger problem begins with children. A parent sees an edible root and wants to teach its name. With pointing, the parent indicates the exact plant. Without it, the child must guess whether the word means the root, the soil, the basket, or the beetle walking across it. Language could still develop, but teaching visible objects would become less precise. Would losing one gesture really slow human progress? Yes, it would. Repeat that problem every day. A hunter cannot quickly identify a distant track. A traveler cannot show the safest river crossing. A child struggles to connect words with objects. One misunderstanding wastes time. Another loses food. A third sends someone following the wrong footprints into a completely different family. Groups with good replacement systems would gain an advantage. One tribe might use whistles, another hand shapes, and another precise directional words. Communication would survive, but become more complicated and probably much noisier. By the time ancient Egypt appeared, pointing was more than practical. In the tomb of Mena at Thebes, painted around the 14th century BCE, Mena's son extends a finger toward animals threatening birds' eggs. The gesture directs attention and may carry a protective meaning. One finger was acting as a warning sign and a tiny magical security guard. Much later, the Roman teacher Quintilian described how speakers should move their hands before an audience. He was basically the ancient world's presentation coach, except his students could not hide behind PowerPoint. Gesture had become part of persuasion, education, and law. Here is the modern twist. In 1968, Douglas Engelbart demonstrated the computer mouse allowing humans to point inside a screen. After thousands of years pointing at real objects, we invented a box so we could point at imaginary folders while sitting down. Civilization achieved its destiny. Without pointing, humans would still survive. We would adapt, gesture differently, speak more, and probably argue longer. But pointing gave our ancestors something powerful: the ability to make another person look at the same problem at the same moment. It does not merely say, "I see." It says, "See this with me." That tiny act may have helped turn frightened individuals into coordinated groups. So the next time you point at something, remember, your finger is performing ancient teamwork and asking someone else to handle the problem.